life.
Child.
Hey guys, it's Pooh. I have a black screen right now because I'm still setting this up. I'm trying to get into a video I just happened to come across on Twitter, and it has the some Parkland shooting survivors, which I'll get into the title of that here in just a moment. What the hell? Why do I have this shit on a loop? Let's see if that happens again.
Child.
Hey guys, it's Pooh. That's me repeating myself. Anyway. Okay, so let me go ahead and get the audio going. I'll try to pull up the video as I go along here.
I don't see the value of that. I think
just wanted to get my feedback on some of the testimony going on here.
And that you are advancing hold the greatest promise. And the last thing I'll say with response to your question is that my focus for my community is about that community. Again, we're a handful of law enforcement officers in a brilliant nation, but those relationships can lead to prevention. And what I don't want is for a teacher to become involved in a gunfight. What I want is for law enforcement to prevent that gunfight from happening in the first place.
Using arms in the middle of an active shooter situation is hugely perilous, is it not?
Anytime a weapon goes off, someone's in danger.
There's confusion and chaos, and the danger of innocent bystanders, even with some minimal training, is tremendous.
Senator, let me give you an example. The weapons that we carry daily in a
They're talking about arming teachers right here.
block that precedes actually handling a weapon goes into extraordinary detail about the dangers of manipulating this weapon. Constantly being cognizant of where it's being pointed at. You introduce into that chaotic environment people who, out of all due respect, are enthusiastic amateurs with these as opposed to trained professionals. You're introducing the potential for greater harm. And again, my focus as a leader in law enforcement is on preventing any gunfight from happening in the first place.
And I'm so grateful that you raised this issue of domestic violence, because domestic violence is a scourge. It is part of this epidemic generally of violence in our society. This is International Women's Week or Day, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this bill on red flags now, because a huge number, perhaps a majority, of guns taken away from people who are regarded as danger occur because a spouse or a partner reports that danger of imminent harm. And prevention is exactly what we should be doing. Prevention to take guns out of the hands of dangerous people before they shoot children or spouses or partners or strangers. 90 of them every day. So I thank you and the other panelists for helping us to prevent gun violence.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much, Senator Kaine.
Thank you, Senator Stabenow. Thanks to all of you for
Might be late on this. We'll see.
taking the most painful moments you've experienced but trying to put them to use for us.
Let's see. The thing I don't understand is that this is supposed to be Parkland shooting survivors. And these parents aren't survivors. Their kids are. And, you know, and I could be nitpicking terminology here. But, well, I guess it's good that the kids are in school. One person had mentioned about something about Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell not wanting to have a discussion on or on gun violence. Well, the thing of it is they've already had their discussion. I'm going to turn my mic down here. Those two have already had the discussion. And their discussion is that they don't support any further gun regulations, to my understanding. I mean, that they may waffle on that. But no further gun regulations. We don't need any. I know people who are... I know there are people who feel differently. But the government has shown time and again that they are incapable of having of working background checks. We already have background checks on the books, but the government, and it's the government that's failing to update national background checks. Jesus Christ, this kid that did Parkland had notifications sent to the FBI, branch of the government, to the Broward Sheriff's Office, branch of the government. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 45, I think it was. One of those calls including him. So I'm not disseminating new information, guys. I'll be honest with you on that. Most anybody who's covered this so far. Ooh, and I just realized that I might get a strike on my channel for talking about this. Anybody who's already covered this has already talked about these things. So, but, this demand that Ryan and McConnell talk about it, it's just look at their voting record. Look at their public platforms. They've already talked about it. What more do you want them to say? Now, I am very undecided in the idea of teachers having guns in for defense in the public school systems. I'm very undecided on that. The best I've got, what if these teachers go crazy during, what if they decide to take out the gun and shoot the kids? I don't think a lot of people who aren't involved in the public school system understand the background checks that they have to go through. Fingerprinting, that's kind of a thing. They do a criminal background check on you. But that's not to say that, nobody will go crazy. It's not to say a teacher won't go crazy. The best I have thought of now, and I know this would cost a lot of money to do, is that these classrooms, if they decide to do it, these classrooms have lock boxes that are tied to a security system within the school, that when an active shooting occurs, someone in admin, takes, basically presses a button that notifies the police that there's a situation on the campus, and pressing that button in turn unlocks the lock boxes or grants teachers access to it, and that the teachers on top of that, they have to have biometric locks on those gun safes. So it's, kind of a two-stepper there. First someone in the admin has to grant access to those boxes, and secondly, the teacher has to, use their biometric or their fingerprint to unlock the box. That's just a thought. Again, I'm not saying I'm sold on the idea of teachers having guns in the schools. I definitely think that there need to be uniformed officers or uniformed security in the schools. And and then there's that argument: we want our kids to feel like they're at school, not some kind of prison camp. Oh, for fuck's sakes, kids already think of it as a prison camp. What are adding guards gonna do? Here, let me see what this guy's saying.
Well, you wondered if adults would pay any attention to you and your voice would count. After you spoke, as far as I can tell, your name has actually been mentioned by more adults and more senators than anyone else. So it's pretty clear your message is getting through. What I'd like to ask you about something we really haven't gotten into much today, and that is what these issues mean for rural communities, for rural America. And you said something very important that I think ought to be really positive. You said, my friends know lots about guns, and everybody's out and about and hunting and fishing. It's a way of life. But we've had it. We have had it, hiding in the cabinets and steering clear of the windows. And then you said, we don't see these as partisan issues. We don't think there's anything to do with Democrats and Republicans here. This is about, for an elected official, you either get it or you don't. You either understand this is about safety or you don't. And in a sense, your generation may be saying something very powerful to the rest of the country. That you come back here and talk about Democrats and Republicans.
These kids aren't saying anything powerful at all. I'm sorry. They're not. They're not saying anything that other anti-gun adults haven't said. They really aren't.
Generation's going to break new ground in terms of getting people here to stop thinking about Democrats and Republicans and just respond to what you're talking about, this ever-present fear and sense of violence.
Oh my gosh. Could you be any more melodramatic? The ever-presence of fear.
There is tons of hunting, and there are, especially in the Upper Valley, like, people really like their guns, but that doesn't mean, at least to the kids, I'm not going to speak for their parents, but to the kids, like, they're still going through everything that I'm going through and every other kid across America is, and that your hunting guns, what I think is really interesting is a lot of people, especially who don't live in communities where there are guns, are, oh my gosh, everyone's going to take away our guns. It's like, hey, you really don't understand guns then, because hunting guns are extremely different from these like man-killing machines that are being altered and made.
No, they're not. This is the uneducated voice of a child. They are not. Holy crap. These hunting woodstock rifles that are gauged at the same caliber as the AR-15, they don't look at it as scary. They don't look at it as a killing machine. Even though it's the same caliber, has the same 30 mag clip, the only difference is that one's got a wooden buttstock. Did I say that right? It's like a shoulder stock, and the other one's got a shoulder stock with a pistol grip. There's not that much difference. It's an appearance. Oh my gosh. Oh, these men, any gun can kill a person. I'm sorry, you know. I mean, they're, 22s can kill people. 177s can kill people if fired at the person. I mean, just in the right spot. This is ridiculous. And they're buffering. Let me see here. See if we'll reload. Come on. Come on. Oh, by the way, we're waiting to see if it does anything. This is about the only kid. This guy right here is about the only kid that they've gotten from Stoneman Douglas.
We're already prone. Oh God, I got it. Prone. We're already prone to do that, and so I think.
I don't know what they're prone to do. You do have to lie prone during an active shooting, but anyway. Just now, some media outlets, not like CNN or MSNBC, are interviewing this kid, and this is a survivor of Stoneman Douglas who is a gun advocate.
I think a lot of people have realized what change they can make themselves, and they're ready to do that, and I know I am. So
thank you. Thanks for being here.
Great. Do it when you're 18 and can vote.
Thank you very much. As we wrap up, we want to thank each of you. We wish there's so many more things to say, but each of you have said things that are incredibly powerful. And I think the most important thing is that this is personal. This is not political.
What?
It's not partisan.
It's personal?
Shouldn't be about money.
Bullshit, it's not political. This is all political. I don't give a shit. Whatever these kids are saying, it's personal. Yes, and it's political. It's personal for people who don't want their guns any regulated any more than they already are. Heck, I'd like to go get my gun before they get regulated beyond even being able to purchase. May or may not happen. Who knows? But yeah, these people, man, I could tell just by the few minutes I was watching. These people aren't saying shit. You know, these people bestowing so much wisdom on these children it's really ridiculous. Oh, these kids are the future. Well, yeah. Everybody says that with each generation. Thank you. They're going to do the things that we haven't been able to. I doubt it. Because the damn thing of it is that even though these nice pantsuit, by the way. Jeez. Oh, Jesus, lost my train of thought. Her pantsuit is that distracting. A lavender pantsuit. That's the next Hillary Clinton right there, ladies and gentlemen. Possibly. Quite possibly. Okay, so what was I getting at? Oh, the thing of it is that for every one of these kids that is anti-gun that they put in front of these Senate committees, there's another one that is pro-gun that will not be seen in front of this committee. As I was saying with this young gentleman that's on the right of the screen here, he's pro-gun, but CNN's not interviewing him. They're just not, and they're not going to. They might at some point if they decide to do an actual town hall debate instead of that fiasco from about a week or two ago. Oh yeah, they might. I wouldn't count on it, folks. But anyway, I thought I would try to join in. Apparently, I caught this a little bit late. I tried to get set up as quickly as I could. And, well, it is what it is. Anyway, folks, if you like the little bit of commentary I had to say on this, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe. What else is there you can do? Leave a comment. Yeah, I would totally like to hear what you think. Regardless of whether or not you agree with me. I'm actually kind of in a debate with some UK dude right now in the Twitters about guns. And that's been an interesting argument. Anyway, thanks so much for popping in. If you feel like this video or any of my other videos deserve it, I do believe there is a PayPal link in the description field. Feel free to click that. Drop me a deuce if you'd like to. I drop deuces.